How was your mindset when you went for your first SSP? किस तरह के आपके attempts गए हैं और कौन से attempt में आपको recommendation मिला?
But unfortunately, I had given it thrice. I was not able to clear the GK cutoff.
Being a fresher, as you get recommended, but your first challenge was to clear the screening test. So you can go with a fixed pattern, like you said. Good morning, ladies. So वो जो शुरू की 2-3 लाइन होती है वो confidence build कर देती हैं.
I was very nervous before my chance came, but the moment I said it with full ऐसा पेट से आवाज निकाल के तो फिर अपने आप ही आ जाता है कि ठीक है now I can speak.
How do you observe any picture which is shown to us? How do you add actions to it? And how do you finish? I think these three important areas are very important.
Anybody who's practicing for TAT, please try to prepare at least 5 themes per picture.
You have to back on back, you have to write all the W80s. What was your strategy when it comes to W80s? Hi everyone, welcome back to Defense Roger, and I hope you're doing well. My name is Sheetal Yadav. In today's episode, we have Karishma, who's ranked 2 in JAG entry. She got the recommendation in her first attempt. We have talked about a lot of challenges that she faced while doing job and then preparing for the SSP, along with the different and the recent changes in the JAG entry. I hope this video add values to your preparation. Without any further delay, let's go back to the video. Hi Karishma, welcome to the podcast, and it is the video which I think is the most in demand because JAG के regarding information बहुत कम है, and making up to the merit scoring rank 2 in JAG entry is one of the biggest achievements, I'll say, because going for a direct entry it's itself a big challenge. So many congratulations, and thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm extremely grateful that you have given me this platform to talk about my journey and be able to help anybody else who's currently preparing for JAG. Because as you said, there's lack of information about JAG. At times, I think people don't even know what JAG is about. Like
Right.
I was one of those aspirants. Thanks to my family background, like I have family in army, so I had known there is JAG way before time. But
Okay.
what exactly JAG is, what the officer's job is, etc., etc. Even I only got to know about it some time ago. So I'm extremely grateful that I get to be here.
Karishma, I would like to know about you. I mean, the kind of background you're coming, is it a civilian background or a military background? Because I do believe that background impacts a lot. Along with that, किस तरह का आपका academic background रहा है, in terms of educational background and the kind of participation you have done in college and school, because every single thing matters here. And
True.
when you seriously start preparing for Army, Air Force and Navy, if other entries are involved, and किस तरह के आपके attempts गए हैं और कौन से attempt में आपको recommendation मिला?
So, ma'am, I actually come from a military background. My father and my grandfather, and even like all my every second man in my family is in army, I could say. So, thanks to that, I was raised in army cantonments. I had studied in army schools. So,
Okay.
way before time, I knew I have some attachment for the army. Like, that is also one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to join the armed forces because it makes me feel like I'm back home. I
Okay.
had always lived it through my dad. Now I get to serve and I get to like give it back to the society and community who has raised me. So that's there. Then I had decided I had humanities in school. So
Hmm.
in 11th, 12th itself, I decided I want to do law. And in consonance of that, I prepared for CLAT. I gave CLAT and I was able to score good enough to join in National Law University, which is in Bombay. Now, Mumbai in itself was an experience. I think my college shaped me a lot. And the activities, the competitions, I had done like debates, I had gone to quizzes, thoda bahut sa physical I have done in school. But once you go out and you live in a different city altogether, in hostel especially, and a different level of competition that happens in college is very different.
Hmm.
So that helped me grow. Potentially, whatever I am today is because of my time in hostel and the moot court competitions. Little bit of again, thoda bahut sa sport I used to do. I was not a very athletic kid. I could do it, but I was never like out front. Ki I have to do anything in sports. Then after my college, I again by fourth year I had decided I want to do litigation. So in law, you have a lot of options. Which field you want to go into? So I didn't want to entirely do litigation. I was more into judiciary, but because of a change in eligibility, I decided to put it back for a few years. And midway, I had also given CDS because again, army was always there in my heart. But unfortunately, I had given it thrice. I was not able to clear the GK cutoff. I was constantly able to, I had enough scores for the merit, but not GK cutoff. I was very heartbroken about that. But then luckily, I guess something else had to work for me. So alongside that, I started working. So earlier, I thought maybe taking up a job is not really important. But again, as much as you believe that you want to sit at home and prepare, I I really want to like give it out also to anybody else who's watching me right now. Please get a job. Please go out because anytime you think कि हो जाएगा, हम कर लेंगे घर पे बैठ के prepare हो जाएगा, ये हो जाएगा, वो no doubt. Like if you're preparing for other exams, also great. But if you're preparing just for SSB or if it's just serious, then it's essential that you keep yourself holistically updated with other things. You keep yourself busy somewhere else also. The
Right.
moment I started going to my job, my brain was off. Like this preparation is going on, but I have other things also.
Right.
I'm learning new things. I am very well updated. Before that, मुझे कोई जीके का एक क्वेश्चन पूछ ले, मुझे कुछ याद भी नहीं आता था. At
Hmm.
least now that I'm going to the job, I read the newspaper every day. It became a routine. You
Right.
need that routine. Once you're home, it's very tough. Like I'm not that disciplined. Like to be very honest, some kids are, and it's admirable. But I was not disciplined, so I believe getting a job really helped me.
Right.
It's plus like I got to meet such amazing people. I work with these like people who are around me are all seniors, so they have very different perspective about life. They will constantly tell me, okay, they'll ask me questions कि okay आप ऐसा कर रहे हो, ये सिचुएशन है. मुझे लगता है मेरा आधा प्रिपरेशन उनके साथ ही हो जाता था. वो रैंडमली मुझसे एसआरटीज पूछते रहते थे.
Hmm.
So again, that helped me somewhere keep myself updated, plus keep myself in a flow. Then, other than that, it was my first attempt. I again, so there is a CLAT PG that you have to give for JAG entry now. So there's an entrance. So luckily, I had given it last year itself, last year itself. So I was eligible this time. So January, 2nd January was my SSB date. Because for JAG SSB, you need a minimum CLAT PG score. They never disclose it outrightly, but the rumor is it's usually above 30, 30 to 40 is a safe score. So you'll get a call for SSB. I got SSB Bhopal, and in JAG SSB per se, we have two batches. As far as I know, there might be something else, but at least since last 2, 3 times, we had two batches, and around 400-ish girls come for the main SSB process. So I gave it in January, then I got recommended. This was my first recommendation, and yeah,
And you're ranked too. You have made it to the
yeah, yes,
Karishma, when it
really
comes to
great.
JAG entry, like I said, Radhika का इकलौता वीडियो था जब मैं check out कर रही थी, preparing the questions. There were no such as such interview, and then I felt like there is a need of recording such podcast as well, and that is the reason I want to talk about JAG entry. I do feel like there is a need to, pay emphasis on how to study, how to prepare, what are the important areas if you want to apply for a JAG entry, the kind of experiences which are important, the kind of entry it is, साल में कितनी बार होती है, vacancies कितनी है, and competition level कैसा है. So I want to do focus on all these kind of factors when it comes to JAG entry.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, JAG entry, just like any other direct entry, it's a direct entry, first of all. So, for direct entries, you don't have to give a written exam per se. Now we do have CLAT PG, but that again is just you need a minimum score. It's just to check if you're like good enough, if you still have you're in touch with your law that you have studied. So as long as you prepare, thoda sa brush up karke, if you give it, you're good to go. Then it comes out. The notification comes out twice a year. Uh, right now, one notification is out, I guess for course number 1 to 4, for which it's for October batch. So one comes in during the spring and one comes in during the winters. So like you can just calculate and see you for which batch it is. So because we have two batches in OTA Chennai, and accordingly the notification comes. So if anybody who's preparing, they just need to like keep an eye on, I guess, Indian Army website, join Indian Army website. You will see it in the notification area. Then for JAG entry per se, see, I did not get any law related, like too much law related questions. But then this is when you're preparing, you cannot go with the headspace of, oh, मुझे law आता है, मैंने पढ़ा था, so I'll be able to answer. I would always suggest to brush up everything. Now, when I say brush up, you can't just concisely study everything that we did in our graduation. I have a BA LLB degree, So any 5-year course, or if you have done BA and then LLB, that's also okay. You just need a graduation degree in law. What's important while preparing for JAG entry is knowledge of subject. You need to at least know basics of constitution, legal principles, the layman terms like that anybody will know. The legal terms that anybody or any at least a student working in law should know. Then Supreme Court structure and basic things about army. They're not gonna ask पूरा Army Act recite करो, but at least Army Act क्या है ये तो पता होना चाहिए. And at least you should know कि कौन what's the structure or what are the laws that are applied in army. What's the situation? Then you also need to know social topics. This is also, I believe, was very important and something which is a little different for us because as lawyers, we have a specific opinion about the society. We have studied sociology or like we have looked at the society from a different perspective altogether. So they do want to inspect that also. I felt that way because lecturate may also there was constantly social topics. Plus, interviewer may try to dig up on your opinions about current affairs, recent, I don't know, wars which are going on, or questions like what. This is not asked to me personally, but a friend of mine, a co-SSB aspirant, was telling me they were asked, "What do you think is feminism?" or "What's your opinion about women in the army?" So or in general, like how will you deal with somebody who's working this way, or how will you deal with a situation where you have to confront your senior, etc., etc. So it's important that kids have a very good opinion about things. You cannot go with a half-hearted mind. So when you're preparing, specifically read upon social issues. You know GK, that's great. But as a lawyer, you should know what's going on in the country.
Right.
And please read up on constitution, any legal GK, anything that can help you like present yourself as a good lawyer. You eventually need to prove it to them
Yeah.
that you're taking me in. I will actually be able to save your men. So that's the mindset if anybody preparing for JAG should keep. Then anything else is very normal. Like the whole SSB process in general is same for any entry, whether it's an NDA entry or JAG. Everything else is same. It's just these little aspects I think
Which
different for
matter.
us. Plus how the assessors will judge us because JAG entry is one entry where even I guess the upper age is 27. Keeping that in mind, they have you won't be judged as equal to an 18-year-old NDA child. They don't have that perspective about life. So that I would suggest if kids are not comfortable, they should start listening to podcasts. They should start listening to these news channels also. I had a few channels that I used to listen to constantly because that will help you frame some opinion about things. If I was a lazy person when it came to newspaper reading, I was not very regular. I used to read, but sometimes. So instead of just trying to read editorial, they can watch documentaries. I loved watching documentaries because that actually showed things from a person's perspective.
Right.
So documentaries, editor articles, reading basic about what's going on in the army, what army law that specifically applies to certain regions, and then basic constitution. All these things, if they do, I think JAG entry otherwise is very normal. Like
One more
they'll be able to crack it.
Karishma, that competition level is it varies from entry to entry. So when it
Yes.
comes to specifically girl entry or a guy entry, maybe if you want to add on, what kind of competition is there and kind of vacancy which is available? Because
Yeah.
direct entry के अंदर generally बहुत ज़्यादा rush आता है because it's you can direct you don't have to clear any written exam. So
Yes,
anything you
ma'am.
want to add on?
Yes, ma'am. So it's a recent update. Now we don't have a male or a female JAG entry. They have combined the both. So there is just one JAG entry. And in my course, we had 10 vacancies. And I guess the upcoming course has 8 vacancies. So I could say it's a great news for girls because this time also, I guess 5 or 6 girls got recommended. So now there is no more, it's not just girls ka competition or guys ka, it's a combined entry. So you will have around 600 to 700 kids coming in for the SSB and then like shortlisting will happen. But for us, I guess it's moving forward. It's a great step from the organization itself because now you have 10 vacancies. Earlier, there were 3 vacancies or 4 vacancies. So I guess a lot of kids used to get very disheartened that why should we even go when there are less vacancies? But now it's good enough. 10 vacancies, I guess, is a strong start for us.
Karishma now will precisely focus on SSP, taking one task, one activity at a time. So, Karishma, when it comes to screening test, I think it is one of the biggest fear which candidate have, because some way or the other, screening is a big challenge, and you went it to your first attempt, and you have not only got screening, but you also made it to the recommendation. I want to understand what was your mindset at that time, and क्या चीजें आपने करी जिस रीजन से आपको you get screened in. So please help us to navigate through a screening test.
Yes, ma'am. So, firstly, once you go there, you're very nervous. Everybody around you is very nervous. It's the first day. You finally get to see what SSB is about. So there will be documentation at first, like morning, mein very early. They'll call you and they'll do the documentation. You'll be taken to a room, and after the documentation itself, there are four stages for screening. So there's OIR, then you write the story, and then narration and GD.
Yeah.
So, and it'll go very fast, like back to back things will happen. So you have two OIR sets. One is a math set, and then another is a non-verbal verbal set. I guess they call it I used to call it a picture test.
Okay.
So for those two, you'll have, I guess, 15 to 20 minutes and 50 questions. And it's the standard OIR, you have to fill Gola and do it. So if you're practicing at home, I will suggest time yourself, make sets, and if you can access to an OMR sheet, best. Otherwise, also it's okay. I'm sure people will be able to solve it. Then after you're done with the OIR, you will be sitting there only. You'll be seated there itself, and in it's a big hall. They'll flash the picture next. There'll be thoda sa briefing. He'll feel free to ask questions. They will ask you if you have any doubts clarified then and there, and like they will tell you 4 minute milenge, ye story hogi, so please write it ऐसे ऐसे. They'll then pass a sheet around and prepare you. Okay, now this picture will be flashed for 30 seconds. Now, when the picture is shown, don't try to look around or do anything. Just focus on the picture. See what's the background. See how many characters are there, because you have to mention it all in the sheet. There will be a small box in the corner. You have to mention everything. So those are essential things. What their mood is, what like what age group do you think they are in? If there are old people, young people, what are their characters, female, male, and what's the environment all around? What are the objects agal bagal? So you have some frame of structure ki kya story banani. So mine was four people standing in a playground. So I made it around a competition because four people, a group, so I should do a group activity. That is how your brain should work. There should be a structure because that will help also. Pressure में वरना story नहीं आएगी कुछ. Once you have finalized your story, instantly जैसे time start हुआ है, you start writing. Don't forget to fill the box and circle the hero. One person you have to choose as a hero, only one person. And then you write your story. There should be 5 to 6 actions. थोड़ा सा intro दिया, then अपने actions लिखे, conclude कर दिया. That is it. Don't try to like make very ऐसा fancy story because वो याद रखनी है. Now once your story is done, I'm sure 10 lines तो 4 minute में ही होता है, तो कोई extra जल्दी तो कर नहीं पाएगा. So once the story is done, they will collect the sheets back and you'll be asked, like they'll divide you in groups and you'll be asked to move to another room. Now this is uh, two main tasks are left now. You're done with your story. Now it's all performative. So keep revising the story while you're going to the room.
That's
And
very
constantly like revise. Don't listen ki koi kya story bana raha hai. That you will get to hear anyway in 15 minutes next. So just revise your own story. So you are able to express your side very well. Now you sit there in a semicircle. Assessors will be right आपके सामने. Don't stare at them. उनकी तरफ smile करके extra marks नहीं मिलेंगे. So don't try to do all of that because you're there to genuinely discuss with others. So like try to live in the moment. And at least for me that helped me calm down. Ki I'm
absolutely.
just here. These are just kids. We are all just discussing. Like gaslight yourself. Ki it's not an assessment. It's you just all enjoying your time. Now, there will be thoda sa briefing and you all start narrating your story. The story should end in 1 minute. That's very important. Now, when you're speaking the story, what you should focus on is don't try to change the name of your hero. किसी और की story का नाम सुन के अच्छा लग गया वो बोल दिया ये सब नहीं करना है because they have your story in front of them.
Right.
So you have to speak exactly what you wrote. So say introduce your hero. जैसा आपने लिखा है, see you don't have to say it word by word. Now you have to just give a crisp of what you wrote. So introduce the hero, say what the hero designation, etc., and your main actions. Very pointer wise, if you like, I did it very pointer wise that this happened, because I wrote it in that way. I wrote it in a flow, so I was able to speak it in a flow. So explain your pointers and then just like end it with your conclusion जो भी आपने लिखा था.
Right.
And you don't have to introduce yourself, say your name or chest number, etc. कुछ नहीं करना है. You just say, good afternoon, ladies, or like however you want to address the group, and start with your story. That I perceived four characters, this gender, this mood, this was my story. So, and because there will be no, oh, you can start, you can end, ऐसा कुछ intimation नहीं मिलेगा उनके end से. So ये बस आप चलता जाएगा पूरा. Once the last person ends, the moment they stop speaking, the GD is started.
Yeah.
Everybody will start screaming. There is again no it's a start point for it. So the moment everybody starts speaking, don't immediately jump onto themes. Firstly, discuss how many characters are there because there will be dispute on that also. There will be kids telling you different characters they perceive. Suddenly कुछ भी दिख रहा है बच्चों को. So again, you don't have to fight वहां पे कि मुझे चार दिखे तो चार ही है. If majority is saying that we saw five people, then agree. Okay, five people.
Yeah.
Because eventually you are working towards a group discussion and coming to a like final story. So you give your pointers, don't sit silent, even if people are screaming. You also try to scream thoda. You also try to put your word across because आपकी आवाज stand out करेगी. People who are trying to listen to you will listen to you.
Yeah.
So, and don't look at the assessors while you're speaking, addressing the group. Look at the group. Look
Very.
at people left to you, right to you. Try to talk to them. Then give your story, theme, like basic age, etc. discuss होने वाला. Theme will be discussed. You give your points, whatever you wrote. Don't try to, when theme is getting discussed, don't say मेरी story ही choose करो सब. This is the story I wrote. This is the only right story. That's not true. Might be better themes. People might agree to some other theme. Because when you listen to other story, you also get impressed कि wow ऐसा भी देख सकते थे आप इस picture को. So try to be more accommodating. If you think कि मेरा ही story बहुत relevant है, and I will still suggest don't try that unless if somebody else has already said, जैसे in my case somebody else said competition, I had made it on competition, so my actions worked perfectly. I was very happy about it. But if that doesn't happen, then also it's okay. If your story doesn't get chosen, doesn't mean कि आपको नहीं लेंगे. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. Because there were other kids who got screened in with me and they hadn't made a story about competition. So, but once a story, a theme is chosen by the group, try to give actions in regards to that story. Essentially, then GD चलेगा. GD जैसा आगे भी होता है, same ही रहता है. It's really on your group and your presence of mind. And then, if you want to volunteer for narrating the story, I will say please do. Only if you have actually listened to what was getting like talked in the group. Sometimes it's so messy, आपको सुनाई भी नहीं देता कि eventually क्या consensus बन रहा है. So again, it's not कि if only you raise your hand, you will get screened in. नहीं करोगे तो नहीं मिलेगा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. These all are just things that we think ऐसा होगा, but ऐसा नहीं होता. So if you're very confident कि I know क्या discuss हुआ था, please raise your hand, please narrate it very confidently. नहीं होता तो it's okay. And I guess that is how it went for me. I tried to calm my nerves down and be very present in the moment. See what people are speaking. Don't get like ऐसा swayed by कोई क्या कह रहा क्या क्या. अपने जो आपने लिखा है, be very confident and just speak. As long as you speak, I guess it works. A lot of times kids get so nervous. Like मेरी भी आवाज रुक रही थी थोड़ा थोड़ा, but then I was like, no, no, I have to speak. This is the time you need to prove yourself.
Right.
Because how else will they mark you? So,
Actually,
yeah.
when it comes to screening, Karishma, you have add on all the possible points which are required, from making sure that you're revising your story to have a
Yeah.
good GD performance. I would like to add few more things. Firstly, be presentable when it comes to screening because it's the first activity you are going and you're meeting people. So when you dress up good, you look confident. Confidence comes from within because you're, looking
Nice.
presentable. So, because this is very vague process when it comes to screening, there are chances maybe you have performed well, but your way of conduct is not good or something else impacted. So everything is being noted down. So it's better to wear comfortable clothes, but presentable as well.
Yeah, just to add on to that, I'm so sorry to cut you because it just came to me. Don't like I had this habit. I was a debater in school, so I have a habit of moving my hands.
Mhm.
So the semicircle you'll be sitting in GD, you'll be very as a congested.
Mhm.
So be conscious of your hands. Try to keep it on your knees. Like you don't have to sit straight and prove it to them, but be very, very demure in how you conduct yourself. Because
Right.
you'll be sitting next to people, and obviously, like you said, be presentable.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you, please.
Few of the extra point I would just like to add.
Yeah,
First,
please.
OIR is having no negative marking. So
Yes,
as long as you are able to perform consciously, that's good. But if 10 questions are left, fill them. Don't leave them blank, because
yeah,
any question which is adding value to your rating, that's good. When it comes to PPDT, listen to their instructions very clearly. Sometimes they say make a
yeah,
oval around the character. Sometimes they say
yes,
circle. So they also try to trick the candidate, because it depends center to center. We feel like we have prepared watching so many videos, or we have gone to certain coaching academy, they have trained it like this, so we feel like we know everything.
yeah,
But they are very smart enough, they make slight changes in the kind of way they give a speech before you start the test. Have a good
yeah,
observation, and while you're writing, practice enough that you don't cut, you don't overwrite. There is
yes,
not a neat and clean way of writing. It needs to be very good in terms of presentation. Try to practice it that much that you're able to finish it in, within our time frame.
time.
Yeah.
Yes,
When it comes to going, like you said, don't discuss. But when you are sitting in a semicircle and you are about to start your narration, the 3 to 4 lines need to be crime, like properly आपको उसको पता होना चाहिए कि
yes,
आपको क्या बोलना है. So you can go with a fixed pattern, like you said, good
yes,
morning ladies. So वो जो शुरू की 2-3 लाइन होती है वो कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड कर देती हैं, and जैसे
yes,
वो होता है then it's very easier to start your own story because you have
yes,
control on your nerves. Have mirror practice if you can do at home, because that will try to help you to get comfortable with yourself seeing in the mirror.
I used to do a pitch practice. Like like you said, a mirror practice. I used to practice good morning, ladies. I
Yeah,
used to keep saying it because see, I remember this. That's the first time you speak like
absolutely.
properly. After your narration, obviously, वो तो डर डर के आपने बोला ही है अभी जैसे बोला है. But
Hmm.
you're addressing the whole group,
Hmm.
and everybody's gonna listen to you. So once your good morning should not be weak. Good, and then once you speak with confidence, वो फिर end तक चला ही जाएगा. Like you said कि structure है, then that helped me. I was very nervous before my chance came, but the moment I said it with full ऐसा पेट से आवाज निकाल के तो फिर अपने आप ही आ जाता है कि ठीक है now I can speak.
बिल्कुल. बस
Yes.
मिरर के सामने बैठ के प्रैक्टिस करने से आपको अपना
Yeah.
बॉडी पोस्चर,
Yes.
आपकी बॉडी लैंग्वेज, आपकी हैंड मूवमेंट्स बहुत अच्छे से क्लियरली समझ में आ जाते हैं, एंड आपको कितना एक एक होता है ना, बॉडी, अपनी बॉडी लैंग्वेज को आप कैसे कैरी ऑन करना चाहते हो, दैट
Yes.
ऑल्सो plays a very vital role. So if you have like a lively face,
Agreed.
not smiling too much, but have a lively face, and then you are saying something with the right pauses, with correct words, I think it helps a lot. And GD, as you said, whenever you get a chance, speak on it.
ठीक है.
But when it comes to stage 2 testing, I think a lot of people are already, gone back to home. And now when it comes to stage 2, starting with psychological tests, Karishma, it plays a very vital role, because a lot of people have no idea, because you never get to meet psychologist in person. We feel like whatever we are writing is right. And as I said, there's so much of information all over the internet. It becomes very critical to use your own brains and write it. So I want to know your strategy, your thought process regarding TAT, starting with TAT. TAT is something we get to see 12 pictures, and if with every picture we need to make our relevant story. How do you observe any picture which is shown to us? How do you add actions to it, and how do you finish? I think these three important areas are very important.
Yes, ma'am. So as you just said, that is the it's the heart of the psych test. So, and it will take most of the psych test ka time. Everything else will go very fast, but because you have to write 4 minutes ka stories and constantly back to back, there will come a time where you'll feel exhausted. So firstly, while I was preparing, first thing is how you see these pictures because you don't want to end up in a situation where you don't have more themes anymore. Like you have exhausted jitna bhi themes you have studied before. So to avoid that, once you're home when you're preparing for the SSB, I what I used to do is one picture, I'll try to make 4 to 5 themes around it. So like each picture can give me different ideas and perspectives. Then once I was there when like the picture was flashed, it'll be a dark room, so all you can see is the picture. Observe the backgrounds first. See what's happening. So you can like make कि okay मुझे इसके around story बनानी है. And what are the characters? Female tat में usually there were majority females. So you know कि आपका hero भी female ही होगी. So those some things you already knew कि ऐसा I have to keep. This was your perspective. So now you have seen the background, you have seen the lady. Like for example, there was this picture, a lady in a car going somewhere and a man on the road. So now this picture, you can tell that this man needs help because he's lying straight on the road and this lady is going somewhere. So instant thought was, let's make this lady a doctor. This looks like an urban city road, and this man looks like maybe he's fainted, maybe he's sick. So she's a doctor, she'll help him. Now इतना 30 seconds में आपने सोच लिया है कि okay, this is what's going to happen. अभी डॉक्टर सोच लिया है तो you know कि डॉक्टर है तो हेल्प करेगी, she'll give first aid, she'll call ambulance, check up, etc. etc. Now the moment your story का base is decided, उसी के around action सोचो. Keep yourself in their shoes, her shoes. Think you are the doctor. अभी एज अ डॉक्टर व्हाट ऑल शुड आई डू, दिस एंड आपको उसी में अपने आप ही आपको एक्शन दिमाग में आने लग जाएंगे कि ओके ये सब कर सकते हैं. 5 to 6 एक्शंस आई बिलीव इज गुड इनफ वंस यू हैव, क्योंकि हमें पूरा स्टोरी उसी का लाइफ स्टोरी नहीं लिखना है, वो सिर्फ एक स्पेसिफिक इंसिडेंट का लिखना है. रेलेवेंसी इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Absolutely.
Like I said, the person fainted. I was able to make her a doctor because I saw a person कि okay, he's fainted. If it was just a woman in a car, maybe my story would have been something else. Maybe I would have made her somebody going towards a convocation. Maybe she's going to some event, etc. So those are vague stories. There you can show your creativity. And you will get such pictures also. Just a woman standing, just two ladies talking. So those are the pictures where relevancy is a little broader for you. So वहाँ पे, if you have a good theme in mind, you can showcase. Then there were a few negative pictures also. Now, negative pictures don't avoid the story itself. Don't try to make it a positive picture just by excluding the whatever stimulus they have given. Because you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that. So in my picture, there was a storm and people were running. So what I because the storm, you can't really tell if it's water or sand. So I decided to make a sandstorm, and this is in Rajasthan. So moment I made it a Rajasthan sandstorm, it to me at least became relevant. Okay, it's not a hurdle. This is something which is very normal. If you go to Jaisalmer or in deeper Rajasthan areas, they get sandstorms all the time. And then my hero was a journalist. She was there to observe what the tribal areas, how the tribal people of that area is living. Now, this I was able to collect immediately because when I was preparing, I used to watch these documentaries on how there is a page, if I can't recall the name exactly, but if you search for Indian stories and some what exactly, like there are these amazing pages that tell you stories about our citizens who are maybe trying out new agriculture schemes or eco farming, etc., etc. That we I was not aware about these things beforehand. So my essential part for TAT preparation was the theme preparation, which helped me because eventually after you see fifth or sixth picture, exhaust होने लग गया था दिमाग कि बार बार आप बार बार डॉक्टर नहीं बना सकते, बार बार उसको कहीं का आईएएस नहीं बना सकते. So for different kind of themes and to be able to write, you need that back end में आपके दिमाग में होनी चाहिए. And that only comes from the practice. So once I believe if anybody who's practicing for TAT, please try to prepare at least 5 themes per picture. I believe a lot of content is available online nowadays. Like you get pictures from Telegram, etc. So as long as you get 5 6 pictures also, so week में 5 pictures practice कर ली. And again, starting में you can do it, I guess 10 15 minutes में. Then timing is also important because being able to write, I was struggling to write my stories time पे. And once you're giving hero the introduction, then your actions, it should not always end with, oh, she was given the first prize, oh, she got some kind of award in the story, because you're not showing your stories is not about her doing something and then getting reward for it. It's just that how she contributed. Because I'm a female, so I'm saying it as a she because mostly my stories may there was a female character who was my hero. So keeping that in mind, your focus should be on the actions and what and how this lady, my hero, has contributed to my story, what she has done. So I guess as long as you do all these things, you'll be able to write. One thing you can do is the extra picture that we have to write, the blank picture. That I guess kids can try to learn, mug up and go. But then the story I mugged up, I had to use it in a picture.
Oh,
So that too I had to write on the spot itself. And I also think after 12, 11 pictures, your brain will suddenly start working. You will get these ideas, a lot of ideas. So that's okay. Like if you are not, if you have a story marked up, great. Otherwise, also just write whatever. I guess I wrote about a blood camp organization. I did that. So yeah.
that's a good thing. Actually, I've heard a lot of people having different opinions, and I really like the way you have discussed all the major points in TAT. I would like to add 3 points here. Firstly, in every story, have variety of names. Don't go for Ram, Sham, or Dothan.
Yeah,
Or other
yeah, yeah,
three,
yeah.
four names. Have variety of names of the characters that you're making a story. Secondly,
I what I did is I used my friends' ka names.
that's good.
I
Actually,
because
all the people you
how
know
do you
around.
make up names? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would a very good point, ma'am. Because after a point you won't immediately think of names. Just use your friends' ka names.
Yes. Secondly, I would say that whatever action you're adding, add more details. The more details you add, like or the if there is an accident scene, you can say how you noticed, what first aid you did. If you have done the pulse test or जहाँ पे bleeding हो रहा था उसको रख किया. Mention all those minute details and then going to the ambulance. If you have called like this, you can add on कि मेरे इस number पे call करके आप call the ambulance. And the lastly is like whatever work you are doing, also finish that as well. So if there is
Yeah,
some picture you are going for something, and then if you have helped to reach out that person to the hospital and uski family se aapne usko milwa diya, and all the formalities are done. If you're doing something, go back to the primary thing that you were doing.
yeah.
So add more details to the things that you're writing in TAT. Lastly, do not end your story with award seeking intentions. You can have a subtle but I mean subtle ending भी हो सकती है. इसमें जरूरी नहीं कि आप उसमें परमवीर चक्र, महावीर चक्र और
हाँ.
पीस, I don't know किस तरह के medals मिल जाते हैं. I've heard a lot of people saying that. But
Yeah.
in this small situation, it's not necessary कि आपको इतना कुछ award मिलेगा, but it's feel like यार you were happy that you helped somebody and you went back to your home या जहाँ पे भी आप जो चीज कर रहे थे. This can be a subtle ending. Uh,
What I used to do is, if it was a group task, I will end it as she thanked her team and everybody thanked her or something along these lines. Like if you
that's good.
want to end it, कि नहीं मुझे satisfaction नहीं मिल रहा, then
Hmm.
end it like this. Like
Yeah.
you said, हर story के end में उसे award नहीं मिलेगा,
Hmm.
तो वो करने की ट्राई करने की जरूरत नहीं है. बिकॉज इट्स नेचुरल. आप वो माइंडसेट के साथ जा रहे हो कि मेरा हीरो है तो मेरे हीरो को प्राइज मिलना चाहिए, तो
Yes.
वो वाला रखने की बजाय, क्योंकि कुछ स्टोरीज नहीं होंगी ऐसी जहाँ पे आपका हीरो लाइक वो नेगेटिव नोट से स्टार्ट हो रही होंगी, मे बी लाइक एक्सीडेंट में, लाइक यू सेड कि वो हेल्प करके देन गोज बैक. सो उसका रेलेवेंट, अगेन रेलेवेंसी रखनी है स्टोरी में.
Absolutely. Like the way you did, giving credit to your team is one of the good qualities a person have.
या या.
Like you mentioned, one of the good thing else here, करिश्मा, कि पहले जब आप इनिशियली प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो तो प्रॉपर टाइम दो एंड उस पे आप जितनी चीजें ऐड ऑन कर सकते हो उसको आप बार बार पढ़ के 3-4 चीजों पे बनाने
या.
की कोशिश करो. एनालाइज योर स्टोरी एंड आई एम श्योर दैट यू विल एबल टू मेक अ गुड स्टोरी. बट करिश्मा, आई वांट टू नो योर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू व्हेन इट कम्स टू WAT. It plays a very vital role. There's plenty of words, some neutral, some negative, some positive. How you used
True.
to write them? Because there is also a time constraint and you have to you have to write all the WATs. What was your strategy when it comes to WAT?
Ma'am, for that, to be honest, I that was my favorite psych test. So,
Okay.
while traveling to work and like before I started my work, I had 15-20 minutes. So I used to just sit. I had a diary, and every day I used to write 10 words. Again, Telegram channels पे कहीं पे if you have a book, कहीं से भी just pick 10 words or randomly if you are seeing words कहीं पे लिखे हुए हैं. So जैसे भी you want to do, but I will write 10 words and then I'll time myself. That is one thing that I, from day one, timed myself. Because I'll tell you honestly, उस दिन कुछ फायदा नहीं हुआ. अब मुझे लग रहा है मेरी फायदा नहीं हुआ. कुछ words I was able to recall immediately. But VAT में, when you're writing it in like the original SSB, वहां पे जाके you will not get enough time to sit and think कि ये अच्छा sentence बन रहा है या ये गंदा बन रहा है. जो दिमाग में आएगा आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. The words will change seconds में, like 15 seconds will fly by. जब तक आप सोच रहे हो, it will be gone. So for that, you have to practice. Once you're practicing, try to write shorter sentences. So I am very talkative, so I write also a lot. So while I used to, I will write, I'm writing for like 2 sentences. अब जैसे कुछ word आ गया है, cry. So cry पे ऐसा नहीं है कि आप पूरा sentence लिख रहे हो. Oh, Sheetal was doing great, but then she cried or something something. Like आपको story नहीं लिखनी है. ना ही फिर वहां पे proverbs देने हैं कि men don't cry or brave don't cry. ये भी नहीं लिखना है. Because these are not, that essentially is checking how you think. What's your perspective about situations? So if I have to write a sentence on cry, maybe it will be um, crying is a way of showing emotions, or cry is a form of expressing emotions. So see this, once you have written your sentence, इफ यू थिंक कि ये सेंटेंस बहुत अच्छा है, इसकी मुझे थीम अच्छी लग रही है, आई यूज्ड टू डू चैट जीपीटी, आई टेल चैट जीपीटी कि आई हैव रिटन दिस सेंटेंस, कैन यू हेल्प मी बेटर फॉर्मुलेट इट, इज देयर अनदर वे आई कैन राइट दिस सेंटेंस, so that will help you. So I had learned कि help की बजाय aid लिख सकते हैं और foster लिख सकते हैं. So these are the things you can prepare while you are practicing for that. कि how to present the word, because eventually see sentences याद करके जाने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. वहां पे 60 वर्ड्स आएंगे, कोई भी 60 वर्ड्स हो सकते हैं, thousands of words in the world, कैसे याद करोगे आप सारे? So
Right.
it's better that instead of cramming those sentences, आप ऐसा कर सकते हो कि कुछ set of sentences हैं, जैसे क्राई, डाई, हर्ट, सो दीज नेगेटिव सेंटेंसेस है कि अगर ये आ गए तो फिर मैं क्या लिख सकता हूँ. तो क्राई जैसे मैंने बोला कि फॉर्म ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन, इट्स ऑल अबाउट पर्सपेक्टिव. वंस यू सी अ वर्ड, ट्राई, नेगेटिव वर्ड देखते ही नेगेटिव ही याद आता है सबसे पहले तो. सो दैट इज ओके, जब आप प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हो दैट इज फाइन, एक्सेप्ट इट कि ये मेरा फर्स्ट थॉट था, अब इसका क्या पर्सपेक्टिव हो सकता है. क्राइम हो गया, अभी क्राइम के लिए कुछ भी लिख सकते हैं, बट मेरे को लॉ बैकग्राउंड से फिर ऐसा मिला, इट केम टू मी, आई कैन राइट लॉ ऑफिसर्स प्रिवेंट क्राइम और पुलिस हेल्प्स इन कर्बिंग क्राइम. तो दैट्स अ डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव. इंस्टेड ऑफ राइटिंग कि क्राइम को सेंटर बनाने की बजाय मैंने लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट को सेंटर बना लिया.
Right.
So that came from a lot of practice. I used to practice that daily. 10 words, it was a ritual I used to write. Because eventually that, like, it started sinking in. कि ये वाले word ऐसे handle करने हैं and these things you have to do. So top of mind, these are the only things I can tell. Please don't try to write negatively. And direct negative मत लिखो. Don't try to leave any word. कुछ
Absolutely.
लाइक देयर वर 2-3 वर्ड्स जो मैं नहीं लिख पाई थी, 10 सेकंड पिछले वर्ड का ही मैं लिख रही थी, तब तक दूसरा वर्ड आ चुका था. बट फिर नीचे नहीं लिखते रहना है, लाइक वो टिंग करके एक आवाज आएगी, सो लुक अप व्हाट्स द वर्ड. आई न्यू आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू राइट, सो आई रोट द वर्ड इटसेल्फ. देन दैट इज अनदर हर्डल, बिकॉज अब मुझे वो वर्ड से ही स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. दैट इज ऑल्सो अ सजेशन. यूजुअली अब वर्ड से ना स्टार्ट करो तो इट्स बेटर, बट इट्स नॉट अ रूल. अगर नहीं आ रहा है कोई सेंटेंस दिमाग में, तो अगर आपको लाइक शाय है तो शाय से ही स्टार्ट करने का मन कर रहा है, then start it, it's okay, nobody is gonna like deduct marks for that. But
Right.
don't leave a word. And छूट भी जाए, so this what I did, आपको हमें एटलीस्ट दे गेव अ ब्रेक आफ्टर, आई गेस आफ्टर एसआरटी वी गॉट अ ब्रेक, बिफोर एसडी. सो आई वेंट आउट, आई जल्दी से थॉट ऑफ द वर्ड्स, जो 2 वर्ड्स मैंने स्किप किए थे. एंड अब टेंशन फ्री होके तो सेंटेंस याद आ ही जाएगा. तो
Right.
जल्दी से आई केम बैक, आई रोट माई एसडी एंड देन आई रोट द वर्ड्स. सो नो मैटर व्हाट, यू विल गेट इनफ टाइम. लाइक फ्लिप करोगे जब पेपर, तब 20 seconds मिलेंगे, and you will get थोड़ा बहुत time to complete the VAT. So don't skip VAT and try to write shorter sentences. Again, सिर्फ 3 वर्ड्स के सेंटेंस लिखने हैं ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है, 5 के लिखने कोई रूल नहीं है. छोटा लिखना है, बस इतना है,
Concise.
क्योंकि स्पेस भी नहीं होगी, एक तो वो भी प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी, प्लस यू विल नॉट हैव एनफ टाइम. सो वंस यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग, आई विल से वहीं से यू विल बी एबल टू डू इट. अदरवाइज वैट ऑन द स्पॉट नहीं होता. ऑन द स्पॉट तो यू विल परफॉर्म हाउ यू परफॉर्म.
Right. Karishma, when it comes to SRT, I've heard people, getting it, making it complicated because sometimes how you react to every situation varies. We see a lot of people, having proper reaction वाली आजकल तो इतनी सारी books आ गई हैं जिसमें proper reaction
हाँ.
है. There are so many things, but I do believe that every person have their individual responses. I want to know you about your SRTs, how you've written them, how you have performed them.
Ma'am, so firstly, like off the bat, I would like to say SRT is obviously it's checking your reaction to a situation. So I think एक नरेशन बन चुका है that ये एसआरटी का तो यही आंसर है, इसका यही रिएक्शन होना चाहिए. किड्स नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि आपको ये एसआरटीज इंटरव्यू में भी पूछी जा सकती है, कॉन्फ्रेंस में भी पूछी जा सकती है. यहाँ पे एसआरटी का कुछ और लिखा है, वहां कुछ और बोल रहे हो, देयर बी मिसमैच. और लाइक आप व्हेन यू आर बिहेविंग अराउंड हर टास्क में, दे आर नोटिंग डाउन योर बिहेवियर, योर somewhere you're reflecting your personality. So if your SRTs are something else altogether and the way you behave is something else altogether, you're not getting any marks then. So everything in SSB, it's all about consistency. So while you're practicing for SRT, it's like a request and a suggestion. Don't get swayed by what others are saying. There is no just one reaction to a situation. Obviously, there is a reasonable reaction, कि अगर ऐसा हो रहा है तो आप ऐसा कर सकते हो. जैसे there's this famous SRT for females. You want to work, your mother-in-law doesn't agree. So now if somebody is writing कि I will fight her or I will say this to her, that so that is obviously not right way to deal with it. But if कोई कह रहा है कि मुझे सिर्फ I'll talk to her, I'll show her my good aspects of the job, or I'll just explain, I'll show it by actions. जो भी, like if your way of writing is different, but the conclusion is that I will prove her that my job is essential and I'll go to job, etc., etc., and she'll agree. So that is okay. You don't have to mimic somebody else words or reactions to situations. So, like, take it with a grain of salt when you see Telegram पे और कहीं पे भी somebody giving answers for the SRTs. उससे पहले अपना खुद सोचो. When you see an SRT, first step should be what will I write, and then you judge it. If what I wrote is okay, it's acceptable reaction out there in the world, then it's good to go. You don't have to like change your reactions each time. And these SRTs will also take a lot of time. And you'll be prone to writing long sentences. I wrote starting के 7 SRTs लंबा लंबा, and then मुझे suddenly hit हुआ कि तो time लग जाएगा, SRTs complete ही नहीं होंगे. So I wrote थोड़ा छोटू छोटू, then वापस लंबा लंबा. So there's a mix for me at least.
Right.
So again, not a rule. आप जैसे comfortable हो, ऐसा नहीं लिखना है. She talked, win, good, done. Like words नहीं लिखने हैं. Sentences लिखना है. I've seen kids doing that. Words लिख के comma लगा लगा के खत्म कर देते हैं. वो भी नहीं करना है. Because उनको पता है, पर उन्होंने कुछ सोच के ही 60 SRTs इतने टाइम में बनाई होंगी. So you don't have to do all 60 SRTs. You have to do जितना भी you can. So at least in my eyes, my goal was कि 50 हो जाए. Because मुझे पता था if I'm writing जैसे भी I write, 50 I'll be able to do, or 55. If you write very fast, then again great. 60 होती हैं, amazing. नहीं भी होती 50, तो at least you should be able to do, or 45 at least. So because below 30, I would say then you have given too much time to SRTs. They'll think, at least that was my idea, कि they'll think you're taking too much time to react. Maybe it's you have made up your reaction, the authenticity will go away. So while you're preparing for SRTs, time yourself. First should be your own reaction, then you cross check. कि what's the standard answer people give? I used to ask my mom also SRTs कि okay मम्मी आप क्या करते हैं इसमें? To give gain a different perspective कि a different age group का person maybe they think about it some other way. But again, it's your FSB. They know what your age का बच्चा thinks and what a genuine reaction should be. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what I can say. That's what I did. I used to practice again 4-5 SRTs every day, and
Mhm.
I ChatGPT was very helpful. I used to tell ChatGPT, see, this is my answer. If this is okay, and ChatGPT used to just say good only. So I guess that built my confidence. Yes, my point of view is good. I can go ahead with it. And you need that confidence. Don't get swayed by answers of others because they might react differently. Everybody has a different situation or personality. So this
Right.
is for you. So write accordingly.
Right, Karishma. I think majorly all the points you have added, if, any SRT needs to be according to your own personal experience, because if you put yourself in that shoe and analyze कि आप उस situation में कैसे react करते हैं, and that itself solves the purpose. SRT is situation reaction test,
True.
and they want to know your reaction. Karishma, I want to talk about SD, self description text. I have seen so many different kind of assumptions of people writing their SDT. I want to know what you have written, because in my past recording with the candidates, I've observed that everybody have their different style of adding points. We all know that do not write attributes, intelligent, smart, this and that. But even
Hmm.
describing any of the quality, they have a unique way of writing it. How you have really prepared for it, and what are the details you have add on to SDT?
I was firstly very nervous and I was thinking, कि, okay, what should I write? Like, I have to say it's muh miya mittu. We have a proverb in Hindi, which means you have to do your own tarif.
Mm.
Now, how do I write it 4 times that I'm diligent, I'm great at work? So my first thing, the moment I knew कि SD prepare करना है, I asked those people. I asked my mother what she thinks about me. I asked my friends what they think about me. Because then, first of all, the moment you ask such questions to the people you are supposed to write point of view of, they only will give you the adjectives. So my mother so told me my weaknesses also. So it was two things done at one time.
Yeah.
So they'll tell you, okay, you're diligent. My friends said you are very helpful. So that Plus, you can ask them, okay, why do you think so?
Hmm.
Like, did I do something specifically? That
Hmm.
also gives you an example. If tomorrow in the interview, because I was asked this question, ki, why do you think so? You are this way. I was able to, on this, it was an authentic example. I didn't have to make it up.
Yeah.
Because first thing, my friend only told me that this is why she thinks I'm a certain way.
Hmm.
So, first and first, ask people around you and give examples. What I wrote was, I'm I'm not I don't exactly remember it, but my idea when I was preparing it ghar pe also, I prepared it once, I guess. Ki I'll write, I'm diligent, etc. And I help at home because I help my mother with documentation, I help my mother with grocery work, etc. So I tried to give few examples. And I wrote five-ish lines. I did not try to write too much. I gave like two, three adjectives and one example of how I have actually projected these qualities that I'm talking about. And
Okay.
then I guess one of the questions is strength and weaknesses. So one recommendation, if somebody, please, like you can pre-hand prepare your strengths and weaknesses because you know that is a question you'll be asked in the interview also. तो
Hmm.
पहले ही सोच के जाओ and try to be consistent. जो यहाँ पे लिखोगे वही interview में बताना.
Okay.
And like I guess it was not weaknesses exactly what you want to work on. So weakness is also when you say in this SB, it's the thing you want to work on, something you want to improve on. So I guess that again, just this is how I prepared. And then तो जो वहां पे जाके मैंने लिखा.
Right.
ज्यादा I think don't prepare for SB. Just know कि what you want to write and in the flow. So authenticity because my main agenda with the whole psych was I wanted to be authentic.
Yeah.
Because if you're authentic there, you will not have to worry about a pretentious personality. Like, this is who I am, and this is exactly how I'll be in G2 ground or interview. So, yeah.
Okay. Karishma, I right now want to talk about personal interview, and I think this is one of the crucial tasks in the whole SSB process because now you are going to sit one-on-one with the interviewing officer. He's going to question you, about your whole life regarding knowledge factor, regarding the kind of experiences you had, and sometimes they will also try to put pressure on you. So,
Yeah.
Karishma, how was your interview, and what kind of situation did they ask you during the personal interview?
So, ma'am, I got a very jolly, happy interview. So, I had heard rumors that now kids love to make stories, and now we have so much data about SSB, so we have perspectives about things. So, there is types of interviewers. One of them is a jolly interviewer who will smile at you, who will try to make you comfortable to the point that you start oversharing.
Yeah.
And I overshare by nature. So the moment I saw him, he was all giggling and he's like, Kashmir, such a great kid. Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. You're so smart. And he's like fully showering with me with these all
Good.
these nice words. I was like, so it's okay. I'm already convinced that okay, ठीक है. I know you're playing. I was constantly reminding myself he's an interview. He's an interview. Like, don't get too comfortable. So, presence of mind is very important because they will catch you before you know. You have said something and he's already on to you. क्योंकि आपने तो ये बोला था, then आपने ये कैसे बोला? And try to grill you. My interview, okay, so standard questions starting with where are you from, what have you studied? Again, there is a famous question which is going around nowadays is which train you took. So again, to just check the presence of mind, they'll ask you such questions. Okay, where did you got off? As I stayed at a PG for like a night. Okay, which PG you stayed at? So be very aware of what you have been doing till this stage. Nahi bhi aata, then also it's okay. You can just say, "Ki, sir, I can't really recall it right now." Again, it's all about pressure. I
Hmm.
also think SSB interview is more about the pressure than the answers itself. It's not कि GK के दो question नहीं आएंगे तो they'll not select you. It's
Yeah.
just how you tackle it. So be very calm and listen to him because once he starts narrating the question, it will be so long you'll forget what he asked. So be very like thorough. Okay, he asked this first. Order you can mix and match, but try not to miss anything. So I missed. I guess I forgot to mention my 12th के grades or something. And he asked me, then I thoroughly, जैसे sir ने पूछा था, I started speaking. Then I told him my marks, this, that. And once I stopped, he goes, Ki Karishma, did you miss something? And saying, sir, I don't know. And then he's like, no, you to missed something. So he's doing back and forth with me. And I'm like, sir, maybe. Then he's like, okay, think, what did you miss? So I was able to recall it, thankfully. But then again, this is one way of them trying to put pressure on you. Because the next question he said, Usme I had not missed anything. But he's asking me again, Kashmir, did you miss something? And I'm like, no, sir. And then for 5 minutes, he was saying, no, you to have missed something. And then in the end, he's laughing and he's saying, Ari, nahi, I was just joking. So there will be chotu instances I felt like, okay, later on I realized these were the moments he was trying to see how I react.
Yeah.
Because I at least personally was not asked any grand questions कि ये जीके बताओ या कुछ ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था. The only thing was these little instances. So then he asked about how is everything at home and like standard questions, how you help your mother, how is your situation with your family, what are your hobbies. So my way of answering was I would answer in one go, everything. So like he asked hobbies. So I said, so I like cycling and like cycling for this reason. I cycle this much, etc. etc. So अब सब कुछ बता दिया and now he's like okay satisfied. Then ask me further. For me, I guess he circled back to friends a lot. So somebody was later telling me that maybe he was trying to check your factor two. So there are these factors which you can, if you Google, you will get these OLQs, and there are some factors that SSB may they check. So ये सब कहीं सुने बात है, I'm not sure, but I was being told that they try to grill you on certain things जो उन्हें लगता है they want to check. So I was asked, there was a lot of pressure put on me for, oh, अपने दोस्तों की बुराई करो. How do you think she's not better than you? How do you think you are better than her?
Okay.
So, and yeah, he asked me five friends pe thoroughly. Okay, why do you think, what will she say about you? Oh, what is her one weakness? How are you better than her? Then he asked me, how is your sister not as good as you are? And stuff like this. So be very present in the moment. So I too was not hesitant about answering any of this. I love like people. I love being social. So I answered accordingly, जो मुझे लग रहा था. And I would say don't get too emotional about your answers. Like eventually you are in an interview, you are like whatever you speak holds value. So don't get too casual. You're sitting so far from him, he's able to observe you पूरी तरीके से. So like now the way I'm speaking right now, I was not speaking this way. Fully like थोड़ा relax हो जाओ. But remember that he is an interview, you're getting judged and he's senior army officer. So maintain that decorum. You're trying to join a force which like this discipline is something very important. So embody it. And then he will ask you, why do you want to join armed forces? So I'll say that's a question everybody should prepare beforehand and keep your answer authentic. So I told him exactly what my like reason was. A lot of people told me maybe you're giving too emotional of an answer. Oh, yes, answer सुनते ही हैं. Even then, say it. Say your genuine answer because उन्हें पता चल जाएगा कि आप ये सच कह रहे हो या झूठ कह रहे हो. So don't try to steal answers. Don't try to think कि मैं कुछ cool लगूंगा extra fancy बोल के on why to join army. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Then for me, there was no legal question per se. He asked me, what do you think a JAG officer does? So please be very well aware of the branch you want to join. Because eventually you are saying, I want to join the Indian Armed Forces. So you should know things about Indian Armed Forces. And few, I guess, yeah, I don't remember the questions exactly anymore, but there were few army related questions because my dad is in the army. So उसके sense में he was asking थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर का. So you should know basic structure of armed forces and compare it to if they ask you कि rank structure बताओ. Army का नहीं पूछेंगे, Air Force का पूछ लिया, then it's they can ask you anything. But again, if you don't know, just say कि sir, I'll read upon it and I'll get back to you. Because अब तो कुछ वैसे भी नहीं हो सकता, अब नहीं आता तो नहीं आता. That was my mindset. Like before I went in, I had convinced myself if I don't know something, I'll just straight up tell him, sir, I don't know. And that helped me. Like it calmed me down. And I was able to like very quickly I was able to answer everything. Then there was no any like there was nothing out of the blue for me. So my interview after I came back, I thought ki maybe he's not interested in me because there was nothing as extraordinary asked. because there were some kids, their interviewers grilled them बहुत अच्छे से. They were asked questions, GK questions back to back,
Hmm.
ranks and what is this missile, that missile. So there were some kids who actually gave interview to two people. So there was another assessor, which the main IO said he's just the researcher. So that is also that, like, nowadays they're trying to trick and actually judge you under pressure. So IO is all about pressure. So when you're preparing for it, first is don't lack the basic knowledge. If you ask me who's the Chief Justice of India and I don't know that, then that's a problem. If
Absolutely.
you ask me some random article of some random act, you don't know, that's okay.
Hmm.
But basic knowledge of this, I'm saying from law perspective, just be branch ke liye you are going, you should know
Hmm.
the basics to it. You should know what a layman should know.
Hmm.
And you have studied it for so long. So he's the just an assessor. उन्होंने तो उतना law पढ़ा भी नहीं है. So go with that confidence also that you know your stuff and revise it before you go. Also read GK. You don't have to like you. He will most assessors ask you to update him on some current affairs. So it's always better 1 week before you go for SSB, just read up on two current affairs. I तो read the newspaper they had in the waiting room and like added थोड़ा सा extra.
The newspaper. Right, you're right.
Yeah, because मुझे कुछ याद ही नहीं आ रहा था. I was the first one to give my interview, so I was called right after my psych. So I was too nervous. So उस moment में जो भी मेरे को वहाँ पे newspaper में लिखा था, I told him that, and I guess that also worked in my favor because he must have he must have known कि अभी पढ़ के आई है नीचे से. So again, जो भी है, it helps you like be very present. And he's just an interview. He's gonna ask you questions about you only. तो जो पीआई पहली बात तो जो अपना पीआई क्यू भरा है वो सच्ची सच्ची ही भरना और झूठ भर दिया है तो फिर अब उसको सच बना लो किसी भी तरह कि अगर भर दिया है कोई हॉबी झूठा मूठा तो हॉबी सच में ही रख लो स्टार्ट कर लो हॉबी
Hmm.
बिकॉज वहां पे उस मोमेंट में ऐसे ऐसे क्वेश्चन ही लास्ट कि आप अगर आप झूठ बोल रहे हो तो आप पकड़े जाओगे तो
बिल्कुल.
डोंट बॉदर लाइंग इफ यू थिंक कि मेरी कोई हॉबी नहीं है अभी तक तो आप कोई हॉबी स्टार्ट कर लो यू स्टिल हैव लाइक इनफ टाइम राइट बिफोर एसएसबी यू कैन से कि सर आई स्टार्टेड वेरी रिसेंटली आई सेड सर आई यूज्ड टू ड्रॉ एंड आई एम नॉट अ ग्रेट आर्टिस्ट बट आई ड्रॉ इन फ्री टाइम जितना थोड़ा बहुत आई कैन ड्रॉ so I was very like open about everything. I was not trying to impress him. That is the mindset I went with, that I'm not here to impress him. We're just discussing about me. And I will say जो भी मेरे बारे में सच सच है.
Hmm.
So again, I think the consistency helped me.
Absolutely. The one thing that interviewing officer do not like at all is like beating around the bush. Like you said,
Yes.
if you don't know anything, yes, sir,
Yeah.
I guess avoid these kind of words. If you're not sure, just directly say, sir, I think I need to check up on this.
Yeah.
I've recently read it, but I'm unable to recall. If you
Yeah.
have a little glimpse also, but if you permit, sir, I'm not sure, can I speak? You can simply ask on the other way around, but do not
Yeah.
say things randomly with confidence and then beating around the bush if you ask you two more questions. This comes completely on a negative side because you
Because
should thought
it
what to
it looks very disrespectful. Like imagine
absolutely.
you ask somebody something and they're not telling you the answer. You know they don't know. They
Hmm.
also know they don't know.
Yes.
So like instead of pretending, you can just you again like आपने भी बोला it's not an intelligence test. Like by any means, it's not कि आपको दुनिया की हर जीके या हर चीज आनी चाहिए.
Right.
So I guess because I had this nervousness कि what if they ask me ये वाला चीज मैं भूल गया तो ये पूछा तो ये नहीं आया. And I was like it's okay. Like I was told also this कि it's fine.
Hmm.
As long as बहुत basic पूछा है वो नहीं आता that's a problem. But अगर if the only problem like the only hurdle you had was कि आप दो तीन चीजें मिस हो गई याद नहीं आई
Hmm.
it's fine. बट अगर स्टार्टिंग में ही कुछ पूछ लिया और फिर नर्वस होके पूरा इंटरव्यू खराब करने की भी जरूरत नहीं है.
Hmm.
जैसे आपने जैसे बोला just बहुत पोलाइटली बोल दो सर आई रीड अपॉन इट एंड भूल जाओ कि उन्होंने
Right.
पूछा था आपको एंड बी लाइक काम डाउन एंड
Abs-
पानी भी होगा लाइक आपके साइड में तो यू कैन ऑल्सो फील फ्री टू लाइक ड्रिंक वाटर एंड एक्चुअली रिलैक्स
Hmm.
मेंटेनिंग योर पोस्चर बट
बिल्कुल.
बिकॉज समटाइम्स ज्यादा रिलैक्स होके भी आई हैव हर्ड कि हो जाता है लाइक किड्स गेट टू कंफर्टेबल.
Right, Karishma. We had talked about personal interview, but when it comes to GTO, there are 9 tasks. There are plenty of things that we do in group. But rather than talking about the task, I want to talk about the behavioral activity that you have observed that comes up very negatively when you are performing in a group. Maybe you have observed few of your friends doing it. And what are the things that have really helped other people, or maybe the kind of things you have done that has really helped you to get recommendation? Because I want to talk on both ways, good and bad, because
Yeah.
the way you conduct yourself, the way you behave with others really matter in JTO. So what were your observation?
Yes, ma'am. So again in GTO we will have all kinds of tasks. So it's not just कि okay यहाँ पे सिर्फ बोलना है या फिर सिर्फ perform करना है. It's all mix and it will be 2 days. So GTO rarely takes up most of your time. And G2 is one place where you show your group skills. So right off the bat, you have GD, and GD is same only, like how you did in screening, it's the same thing. Again, you have to like give in your points. In GD, just one thing, when somebody else is speaking, don't try to be condescending about their points. Now, this group discussion is not about coming to a conclusion. This is genuinely just a discussion. So if somebody is giving a point that you don't agree with, it's okay. Like they can have an entirely different perspective. So don't say ki, oh no, that's not right, or don't try to like disregard their facts or their opinions. That's fine. Like you can always say ki great point, but adding on to it, or but there is another way of looking at things, or maybe this is also you can consider. So just learn these mannerisms if you can, like practice these things on how to address the group. That's very important because हम realize नहीं करते but ये subtly बहुत naturally हो जाता है कभी कभार because एक topic will be a little social and emotional, so don't get too emotional and bhavuk. Okay, you're like, no, you're entirely wrong, this is not right, because kids do that. I remember in some group a person said, I object, you're wrong, chess number, this. So this is not great because they don't care about who is right or who's wrong. This is
Yeah.
about how you discuss.
Hmm.
So that is it. Then after GD, the most important thing is the ground task. So because we have two, three ground tasks, the final, HGT, PGT.
Hmm.
Now in ground task, first thing first, see, I had taken coaching, so I had a little exposure on what is going to happen. So I was thoda more self-aware. I think that kind of did help me. I already knew कि ऐसे ऐसे होते हैं, ये plank उठा के भागना है मुझे जल्दी. तो कुछ बच्चे because they were very new to the task, so थोड़ा observe करने में time ले रहे थे. So try to be one of the first ones who get to go in, but don't push others. There was somebody in my group, she was a little too pushy. So at first, आपको लगेगा कि oh, she's so enthusiastic. But the problem is जैसे जैसे tasks will proceed, you will get desperate कि oh, I also like I want to prove to the GTO I'm good. So before you know it, you will start hogging up space or you'll start pushing people. And आपने क्या दिया या नहीं दिया वो तो पता नहीं, but GTO will notice this. That this is how you're behaving in a group.
Hmm.
Because GTO, like task is about how you act in a group. So please be respectful and mindful of your space. But don't be meek also. ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं आप जाइए प्लीज, ऐसा भी नहीं करना है. Be like अंदर जाना है, अगर आपको लग रहा है मुझे चांस मिलेगा चले जाओ. But this is what I did. So once I was in, आई ऑल्सो थिंक कि जब आप पीछे खड़े होते हो ना आपको ज्यादा अच्छे से दिखता है टास्क. तो जैसे ही आप अंदर घुस चुके हो, अभी अभी आपने अपने आइडियाज लगा दिए एंड यू थिंक यू आर नॉट गेटिंग एनी मोर आइडियाज, आई ट्राई टू कीप माई बॉडी इन अ वे दैट आई एम लुकिंग एट द टास्क एंड आई एम लुकिंग पीछे ऑल्सो. आई डेंट हैव माई बैक ऑन माई टीममेट्स बिकॉज इवेंचुअली दे आर माई टीममेट्स. So I was thoda standing tera and I was looking back and I was addressing them also कि yes chess number, what was the idea you were saying, because आप तो अंदर आ चुके हो, अभी आपने जो आइडिया लगाना था वो लग चुका है. See, if you were able to give a good idea and it worked out, then great. The moment you are out of ideas, don't just stand there. I would highly recommend talk to the people जो पीछे खड़े हैं, because everybody has some idea. At times the G2 will also say कि please switch places. If anybody has a good idea, please come आगे. So तब भी ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं मैं नहीं जाऊंगा, मैं छोड़ के नहीं जाऊंगा अपनी सीट, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Like all that doesn't matter. Again, if you don't have idea and you're just hogging up the space, it will deduct your marks only that you're not ready to share. So if you have good idea, great. If you don't, please let your teammates also give good ideas. And my way was this कि ताकि जीटीओ मुझे बोले भी ना पीछे जाने के लिए, and I'm able to actually implement ideas. So I took ideas and then we moved forward. That's how PGT, HGT, FGT, everything went for me. And luckily, I was able to give ideas. So that's always the best scenarios if the G2 also notices you. And I guess he asked ek do bari who gave the ideas, and like it was my idea, so I raised my hand. So I was very happy about that. Ki, okay, limelight mein aa gaye. But in GTO task, I think this limelight can cost you and like give you marks. It's both ways. Now, for group race, वहां पे you don't have to be the highlight of the race. It's a group race. See, in some kids think we are more athletic. तो अभी सारी टीम किसी एक टास्क पे है वो एक अकेला बच्चा भागने की कोशिश कर रहा है आगे. So don't do that. Same goes for FGT also. You cannot move forward until your whole team has completed the task.
That's
That's the idea. You can't don't try to think कि मैं सबसे आगे निकल जाऊंगी तो मुझे ज्यादा मार्क्स मिलेंगे. ऐसा नहीं है. These are group activities. They're for a reason. They're called group activities for a reason. So group race में I'm small. I was weak also comparatively. So I knew कि I'm not very much of an asset. So my only goal was कि मैं टीम के साथ चल के I complete the race. जहाँ पे भी if my team think I will be able to help, I'll help. Otherwise, it's okay. See, again, if you are tall, you can help. Great. बट ऐसा मत सोचना कि मैं पतला सा हूँ छोटू सा हूँ मैं फिर भी लोगों को आप घुसे जा रहे हो आपकी टीम को मतलब डोंट बी डिस्ट्रक्शन टू योर ओन टीम जो भी कोई बोलता है कि देयर वर वन गर्ल हु वाज वेरी टॉल सो शी वाज लाइक आई विल हेल्प एवरीबॉडी गेट अप आई वाज लाइक फाइन आई विल बी वन ऑफ द पीपल लाइक आई विल जस्ट कंप्लीट द रेस I will not stand out. She will obviously stand out because she's helping everybody, but that is okay because there have been times when people start fighting ki I'll be the one to do this because they think ki if you get some responsibility the GT will be like wow she helped the team etc but everybody is doing something in the team. You're supposed to hold that snake. That is also a task. So in group race and any other group task, your goal should be how do I help the team? Don't try to stand out too much. Naturally, कहीं पे help कर सकते हो, great. Like for me, it's a little performative also. When there is a task where there are two walls and you have to walk on a patlusa uh, wood ka stick. So you get on the wall, you walk, and then another wall, and you jump. So once I was on the wall, like I crossed, the teammate who was right behind me, she was scared to walk on that wall, the patla wooden stick. It's very rough, like it's very scary, genuinely. But it's a chotu sa walk, so you have to thoda sa brace up and go. But she was extremely scared of heights. So that is where I was like, you come to me, look at me. So I'm sure like the GTO noticed, and I knew he was looking at me.
yeah.
But essentially, see, that was the place, at least I felt like, if I wouldn't have helped her, वो गलत होता. I was in a situation where I should help a teammate and I did. So अगर naturally if you think आप ऐसे situation में आ गए हो, then please help your teammates. Your goal, essential goal is किसी भी तरह टीम को हेल्प करके जाना है. Don't extra pretend मत करो किसी टीममेट को कोई बेचारा चढ़ने की कोशिश कर रहा है तो आप जानबूझ के उसको पुश कर रहे हो कि he hasn't even asked for help और आप फिर भी लगे हुए हो उसको धक्का मारने. तो ये सब करने की जरूरत नहीं है. जहां पे कोई हेल्प चाहिए वहां पे करो. बिकॉज GOR इज इम्पोर्टेंट. आई थिंक GOR इज वन प्लेस जहाँ पे बच्चे नेचुरली अपनी पर्सनालिटी शो करते हैं. And it makes a difference other than PGT HGT. And then like the lecturate is there. Lecturate may try to speak for 3 minutes, please. I was not very impressed with my own lecturate. I was able to speak, but I'm sure even now I think I can really work and improve the way I articulate my thoughts, the way I present my thoughts. So that was there. But at least I was able to speak for 3 minutes and I spoke in a structure. बिकॉज वो मेरे दिमाग में फिक्स था कि जो आपको 3 मिनट्स मिलेंगे प्रिपेयर करने के एटलीस्ट ट्राई टू प्रिपेयर अ स्ट्रक्चर आई इंट्रोड्यूस दिस आई स्पीक दिस पॉइंट आई स्पीक दिस पॉइंट बिकॉज दैट विल हेल्प यू स्पीक अदरवाइज कुछ भी थॉट रैंडम थॉट आता जाएगा एंड यू विल स्पीक ऐसा इट विल बी टू मच टू इनटेक ऑल्सो सो व्हेन यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग लेक्चर टॉपिक घर पे यू कैन डू इट लाइक हाउ यू स्कूल किड्स यूज्ड टू डू कि 5 ये बोलना है फिर मुझे 5 पॉइंट्स देने हैं देन कंक्लूजन देना है. So that will help you like brace yourself. And in JAG, at least I thought कि वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा social topics थे. So it's good if you read upon. So my topic was same-sex marriage. And another child, I guess, got transgender rights, etc. Somebody got teen talaq. So these are very social topics.
Yeah.
Like that's how I would like to say. So it's good if you read upon these issues. Like as a legal student also, you should be very well aware of these issues.
Right.
Then the main GTO thing is command task, IO. Everybody's scared of those. So IO also 3 minutes. I guess it's very on performance based. वहाँ पे जैसे होगा. So if anybody is too scared of heights, I will say please practice घर से ही थोड़ा heights पे चढ़ने का आदत डाल लो सीढ़ियाँ चढ़ो रस्सी चढ़ना सीख सको तो best but prepare brace yourself कि वहां पे जाके you'll have to jump from heights and it's very scary but you have to do it you have to जैसे आयो पे खड़े हो just do it don't think too much and command task again commander as a commander you should you should be the one giving instructions so don't look at your subordinates and hope कि तुम मुझे कुछ ideas दे दो वो कुछ नहीं कह सकते and don't forget instructions when the G2 is talking to you while you go to your command task he'll have a small chat with you and then he'll give you some instructions very carefully listen to him very carefully because in some command tasks he'll say ki there is a bomb defusal in some command tasks there is a drum you have to carry so drum पीछे ही मत भूल जाना अपने subordinates को बोल देना that please carry the drum they can't do anything unless you give them the order so already prepare yourself that you are the commander and anything that goes on this ground will now happen on your word and subordinates try जब आपको क्रॉस करवाना है तो गिव सेंड योर सबॉर्डिनेट्स फर्स्ट ऐसा नहीं खुद वहां क्रॉस करके खड़े हो चुके हैं सबॉर्डिनेट्स अंदर ही खड़े तो ट्राई नॉट टू डू दैट आल्सो ट्राई कि आप उनको पहले भेजो एंड अनलेस इट्स रिस्की लाइक आपको पता है आपने बल्ला फट्टी गलत लगाया है एंड अब आप बोल रहे हो सबॉर्डिनेट्स प्लीज वॉक तो ऐसे उस पे नहीं भेजना है कि टेस्ट एंड ट्राई करने के लिए वहां पे यूज से कि सर आई विल ट्राई दिस फर्स्ट बट इफ यू नो कि फॉर श्योर ये तो काम कर जाएगा एंड दिस इज लाइक अ सेफ रूट देन यू सेंड योर सबऑर्डिनेट्स फर्स्ट so please again very presence of mind thing he see how it's going and the GTO will my GTO oh god he must have asked me 10,000 questions during the command task कि अब ये वाला चीज गया अब यहाँ पे बॉम्ब फट गया आपका ये हट गया एंड ये मूविंग स्ट्रक्चर मूव नहीं करेगा so they will try to build pressure on you and I was very nervous I will not lie as I was fully ऐसा stuck कि अब क्या करूं take a deep breath. It's okay. Like I was able to eventually, by the end of it, collect myself. So right from the start, just do the task accordingly, जैसे जैसे आपको लग रहा है. And even if he's asking you, like you need to constantly remind yourself कि अगर उनने कुछ पूछा है, if he is like कुछ आपने उनने आपके स्ट्रक्चर में चेंज किया है, it's still solvable. कुछ तो सॉल्यूशन है, तभी उनने चेंज किया है. सो वंस यू थिंक इन दैट वे थोड़ा वो हेल्प हो जाता है कि हाँ कुछ तो तरीका लगेगा एंड आई कैन थिंक ऑफ इट इट्स ओके कुछ आउट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड नहीं है एंड अगेन बस फिर ये करके यू go out and last is the final group task and then final group task is how it goes but I will say all this you now also have videos on YouTube. So there are videos of these tasks also. Like some videos I saw in the end, किसी ने ground दिखा रखा था. So if somebody is not able to go physically and see the grounds, I will highly like recommend please check out some sources, check out YouTube videos to get an idea of how and what things to do. I'll say I watch your videos also, ma'am, a lot of them, to get actually what the assessors want. Because see, whatever I say is very a me experience. कि, oh, I did this, I did that. But there are some things that needs to be followed, and उसके लिए I would always recommend कि आप जहाँ से भी whatever source of information you're getting, keep it very authentic and keep it authentic plus bring out your consistency to it. Don't think कि मेरा दोस्त ऐसे कर रहा है तो मैं भी ऐसे ही कर दूंगा क्योंकि एक तो कमांड टास्क में ना वो जाके सब कंफर्म हो जाएगा ग्रुप में कैसा भी आपने प्रिटेंड किया है आपका कमांड टास्क उसने आपकी पर्सनालिटी के हिसाब से ही देना है द G2 has already planned it for you
Right.
so don't think कि ground पे I'll pretend something and then the G2 will never know because everything is getting confirmed. So it's
Absolutely.
best कि from the start, just be you
Hmm.
and prepare. Because see, I will say the kids who did not made it, it's not like they were bad kids. Some of them were very impressive. Like I was so impressed by some were very good at speaking, some were very physically active. So there are things. It's just that you have to be consistent. I guess what helped me, what got me the recommendation is my consistency and authenticity. I did
Absolutely.
not pretend to be anybody. And वो मेरा mindset था कि I don't want to like because then that I'll be more nervous.
Hmm.
And I was constantly reminding myself this is not end of the world. This is just an SSP and it's fine. Like I just have to go there and have fun.
Mhm.
As long as you're having fun in each task, I guess it shows on your face also.
Right.
And yeah, I guess that is it. Just group का ध्यान रखो, जहाँ पे भी GD है, be very active, give your good points. GP is also there. I'm sorry, I missed GP. So when you're writing GP का solution, make it structured. Everything is performative. You are presenting yourself.
Right.
So they don't have preconceived notions about you. उनको नहीं पता आपकी handwriting अच्छी है, आप अच्छा अच्छा काम करते हो. वो जो solution लिखोगे उसी में दिखेगा. So try to write it beautifully and rest I guess will be fine.
Karishma, I would like to add one important point is the injuries during GTO. There is always an ambulance kept there. So it's
Yes.
good that you are wearing comfortable clothes and good shoes that don't slip any of the areas
Yeah.
where you are doing GTO. So I do believe that this is a very important area and do not exceed your limit, whether it's individual obstacle or anything, where you are getting injured and now you are unable to perform the further more activities or any of the things that maybe you get recommendation and then medicals के अंदर आपको issue हो सकता है और maybe they'll consider that this person has don't have self control कि कहाँ पे कितना react करना है. It's okay not to perform all the tasks. You can try. But if you have not done anything before and now you are doing, when a first go you're trying to achieve it and you jumped and you fall from a height, that
Yeah.
should not also be there. You should be well understood what are the task and कितनी speed से कौन सा task करना है और क्या आपकी strength है. एंड उसके अंदर पहले अटेम्प्ट में जाके रिकमेंडेशन लेना इट्स अ वेरी बिग थिंग. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर बीइंग हियर करिश्मा एंड आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू सी यू इन यूनिफॉर्म वेरी सून एंड
Thank you.
I really pray to God that you have a injury free training because it's very important and you do really well and can't wait to see you during your POP. Just
Thank you so
हाथ
much,
पाँव
ma'am.
से आप जब क्रॉस करते हैं निकलो.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. It's like the honor is all mine. I'm actually so grateful. And I'm grateful to people like you, like the work you're doing, the videos, everything. These small things have helped me a lot. Because especially for somebody who is working, I was not able to give a lot of time after like in last few months. But the correct videos and either udhar ka practice, छोटे things I get made a lot of difference for me. So I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Karishma. It means a lot coming
Thank
from
you
you.
so much,
And
ma'am.
I think these are the few motivation factors I keep it with myself, doing and providing better content. And I do think like it's take a lot of time, but sometimes feedback like this just give me a little push to do a little better. So means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks for watching the video and let me know in the comment section below if you have any doubts. Follow for more such content. Jai Hind.